What's the deal, people? It's your boy Nigel Bain, and this is Inside TV. Today we got a special episode with Coach Brendon Bain. We are at Kingsborough Community College right now, and here he's the girls' coach. So we're going to be asking him some amazing questions, checking out some stuff that he did along his journey, and how he got to where he is right now. All right, people, we are here Inside TV. We are here, in my eyes, with the famous Coach Brendon Bain. Thank you for coming on, Coach. Really appreciate that.
Right,
thank you.
You're welcome.
So, we're gonna start off with a little bit of your background. You know what I mean? For the people that don't know who you are, what do you do? What's your title? What's going on?
I'm title here. So, I am the head coach of the women's basketball program at Kingsborough. I'm also an adjunct lecturer.
I know Coach played basketball, you know what I mean, in Grenada. Shout out to all the Grenadians, right?
Right.
Let's take a trip back a little bit. Like, where you played, who was your coaches in Grenada? Like, shout out some of those people.
Wow. It's a loaded question. But you know what? That's a good question, though. So firstly, a couple of the people that I would love to mention, and I actually would mention, they're no longer here with us. The likes of Abdul Skudus, Jolly Stevens.
Jolly, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Did a lot of work with Jolly, man. Jolly was the person that really taught me a lot of things about the game. Jolly was the person that told me that they don't know what they're talking about because there's no way that lifting weights could spoil your jump shot. Jolly introduced me to lifting weights and how to train because he had access to St. George's School of Medicine campus. So we'd go train there and we would lift there. A lot of the stuff I learned from Jolly about nutrition and recovery was years ago. So Jolly was ahead of the game by eons.
Big time.
Another person as a coach is Easter Wilson from Victoria, St. Mark's. This guy used to have tournaments and had 3 divisions, sub-junior, junior, and the senior. He even had a women's team. This guy was another visionary, but not just for basketball, but for all sports, right? I used to enjoy going to the holiday recreation program, and he would coach us all the sports, right? Awesome guy, rest in peace, coach. Another person that was really integral was Anthony Jericho Greenwich. I used to train with Jericho on Market Hill at 3:30 in the morning. All right?
Yeah.
Jericho used to have me running there. When we finished running and sprinting Market Hill, I used to feel like I had no legs, But all of those things were really integral in enabling me to develop into the player that I eventually became, playing for Carnage, Coach Drummer, Nigel McKee. Coach Paul McIntyre on the national team, played for him. He actually used to coach me for 2 hours every Saturday. All right, so I go down and get all this personal point guard training. Shout out to Naka Joseph. Worked out with him a couple of times, I call him the Grenadian Bobby Knight. Andy McQueen, despite being a nemesis because he used to play for the Sixers.
Right.
But what I used to do was try to work out with guys who I play against. So I tend to know their tendencies. It's kind of cheating, right? It was kind of cheating, but it was just me that figured that shit out.
Right.
I'm going to work out with you to see what your likes and your dislikes. So when I'm playing against you and I see you I can have a counter for what you do. So I used to work out with Andy McQueen. Most people know him as Wamba. So it's a plethora of people that enabled me to become the person I am today. Whether the prior, I'm old now, when I used to play.
Yeah.
Or
I'm sure you can still take a couple of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I got a joke for you after this, off camera. So, it's been good. Basketball, I've used basketball as a vehicle to get me through some of the toughest times of my life.
And as you say that, right, I think that's like something I want to chime in on the fact that, you know, you're using basketball to get through some tough times in life and things like that. I would love for you to mention something on the mental health and basketball. Like, you know, we know basketball is one aspect, but also the mental health of a student athlete or just an athlete on a whole. Like how on your personal experience, how did you surpass that? How did you, because the mental pressure of being an athlete is very difficult sometimes and it can be hard, you know what I mean, as you know. So how do you surpass that personally, and how do you teach your athletes now that, you know, you have to be strong-minded?
So this generation is not as strong-minded or mentally tough as we are, right? We grew up in a different time.
Yeah.
All right, and at that time, it is more prevalent that men's supposed to be tough.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
So you have to be tough. I remember the passing of my mom, and my old headmaster came and spoke to me, you know, say, you know, you have to mature immediately.
Wow.
Right? So in passing of mom, I think I was like 14 or 15. GBS, just finished GBSS. And had my siblings, right, to take care of. So what I used to do is I go to the court to get away from everything. That was like my sanctuary. Realistically, I got to deal with all the other stuff happening, right?
Real life.
But those 2-3 hours I go to the car and I was go and shoot 400 or 500 jump shots by myself would help me to put everything in perspective and help me to come up with coping mechanisms to deal with this situation. You know, I did that with the passing of my grandmother as well. You know, the passing of my dad, I was a little older. But I always use basketball as something that I can always go back to, fall back on, even now, right? I go back, fall back. It might not be going and shoot, it might be just going into my notes or going back and look at some tape of a game that we lost. So that I could put everything in perspective. But basketball is, for me, is always, you know, front and center part of my life. It's gonna be a part of my life until I die.
Right. That's how come girls? How come you're coaching girls? Because clearly you have all this basketball knowledge, and the boys' game may seem bigger. I'm gonna say may seem bigger because right now, if we watch college basketball, the girls outshine the boys. I enjoyed the girls' games this year more than I enjoyed the boys, to be completely honest. It could be the entertainment of all the high-profile girls nowadays, but how come you chose to coach girls?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. I was asked to. So I started coaching here in 2009. However, I could back it up a little bit.
Right.
I started coaching here long before that, in an informal way.
Okay.
All right. Because Freddie Wilbur Thomas, our assistant athletic director, used to play here. He actually has back-to-back championships.
Okay, big up Freddie. Big up Freddie.
Yeah, my player from PBC.
Yeah.
So coaching him in PBC, and we always stayed close, you know. Coaching him in PBC, at that point in time when he was here, I was working with Carnival Cruise Lines. So every time we come into New York, I would call him up. It's like, yo, we got practice, I come in and pick you up. Swing by Bed-Stuy, pick me up, we come up. I would watch practices, sit in the bleachers, watch practice, critique stuff that he did.
Right.
And then after practice, we'd have another workout, right?
Of course.
Gotta do that extra work, right? Extra 300 shots up. So I was here for those couple of, earlier years. And then when I decided to come back to school, I called him up. I was like, listen, call Haas. Rest in peace, Coach Haas. And let him know that I'm gonna be on campus and I wanna work with the team, you know? So I knew Haas and went to see him over in the security office and spoke for a little bit. He was like, Coach B, whatever you could do, we'll appreciate your expertise, you know? So I came in and I had to sort of approve myself. But within a week, they realized I knew what I was doing.
Exactly.
So, that started out there with the boys. And then after a few years, actually my first year, we went back to back. You know, we went back to back. 2009, and then what was the other one? Somewhere up there. Yeah, 2010, whatever it was. I mean,
Definitely.
we went back to back.
We'll put the banners up for sure.
Yeah, the banners are, you know, the records don't lie.
Yeah, we'll definitely.
So, you know, we did that, and as time progressed, you know, I became more intricate in enabling strength and conditioning to be a part of the program.
Which is
so
huge.
I would have the kids in the room, have them outside in the weight room with me, have them outside running, using the beach as well. So I kind of formulated that program over the years. During the summertime, you know, that's the time you got to put in the work. Nobody's watching, right?
That's a fact.
So we did that, and 1 year, ex-AD, Dr. Thomas, asked me, he's like, listen, man, do you think you could build a women's program? I said, yeah, why not?
Basketball.
You know, it's basketball.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was the starting of actually coaching girls at Kingsborough. But prior to that, I used to coach girls back in Grenada too.
Okay. In terms of the school, you had a pretty decent season. But in terms of your personal accomplishments, I would love for you to say it because it sounds better coming from you. What accomplishment did you accomplish this year as a coach?
It's never about me.
We know that.
It's never about me. So let me tell you about my players.
Okay.
All right, so we had Player of the Year. All right, Tiana Davis. We had the Rookie of the Year, Jaden Vega. We got the Sportsmanship Award. That was Arthur Jaloski. We had our most outstanding player in the regional tournament. That was Kayla Wilson. All right. Whatever award that we got was much more on a personal level because we didn't reach that goal of winning. We lost in the championship game, CUNY championship, to Hostos, second time around.
Yeah, because they've been doing the Hostos for
they're
years
dominating.
now.
They like Connecticut.
Yeah.
Just dominating, you know.
Definitely.
Respect the culture. And we lost in the regional tournament to Nassau. Right? Those two teams, they gave us a lot of trouble, but we're gonna find a way. We had a terrible quarter. I don't know if it was nerves, but we just couldn't hit a basket.
Right.
So we had 3 points in the quarter, and then we lost the game by either 5 or 6. We came right back after being down by 20 something, right?
Okay, we fight back.
Fought back.
Yeah. Shows a lot of character.
Yeah, so the year was pretty good. I know I'm trying to dance around your question.
Of course, I mean, this is, if anybody don't know Coach B, as I call him, right? Coach is a very selfless human being. So it's like he said, he really lives by this. This is every day for him. It's not really about him, but we're gonna get him to answer what he did this year. But
yeah, so you know, just for the sake of your question, man, I was trying to be elusive, you know. I was awarded the Coach of the Year for Region 15. But it's as I was gonna say, it's not about me. It's about all the other work that my coaches, my assistant coaches have done. You know, the athletic directors, assistant athletic director as well. You know, and all the alumni of our school that has been supportive of me over the years. You know, my past players. Like for example, you. Yeah. I remember, and this morning I was just jogging my memory, and I was just like, you and your dad used to come up here, right? For your first contract, you was working out with me.
Yeah. My very first one, before I went to Bahrain, I'll never forget that.
He was here.
Right here, working out.
He was working out. Band work. One day you kind of tweak your ankle a little bit. You got to put ice on it.
So that, all of that happened. So, you know, but this is all a testament of, you know, how much you have helped numerous athletes, you know what I mean? For me to come here and develop, transitioning from the college basketball to going into my first pro contract, you know, when I signed the first pro contract, I used the first person I called, be like, Coach, I need to work out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I gotta get ready because I know you did it on that professional level as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you knew what it took, you know what I mean? So you was the person I went to, you know what I mean? And your accomplishments, you know, if anybody's gonna give you your flowers on how you impact the game with many different people. We could call tons of people, you know what I mean? Current players as well as players that don't even play no more like myself, who's, you know, the knees ain't working like they used to. I can still dunk though, people. I can still windmill, Coach. I can still get up.
You got hot.
So it's big for you to channel into continuously coaching, continuously helping, and doing all these things to impact the game wholeheartedly. In terms of where you see yourself in the next 5 years, whether that's coaching, whether that's being a professor, whatever that case may be, like where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Well, you know, with the Almighty Yahweh's blessings, you know, and I have a little quote I always say, life, health, strength, you know. I would love to continue impacting student athletes.
It's huge.
Right? Whether it's be in the classroom or on the field of play, right? Whether it be in the US, in Grenada, in England, wherever. But it's just, you know, enabling people to reach, or student athletes, or just athletes generally, to reach goals and do things that they thought they could not accomplish. Why? Because I was given opportunities by Jolly, Coach German, Paul McIntyre, you know, Naka Joseph, all these people that were able to help me, Jericho, you know, rest in peace, Razak, that were able to help me along the way. Now, one of the things that people always are amazed by is like, yo, you don't charge. Nah, I don't charge. Why? Because the people who helped me never charged me. You understand? So that's one of the things that, you know, I was like, yo, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna work you out for 2 hours. Give me your energy and your effort.
That's it.
That's my payment, you know. So hopefully with life, health, strength in the next 5 years, I want to continue impacting athletes, you know. I might be biased and say basketball players, but you gotta, you know, extend the stuff because, you know, a soccer player, I could be able to, I do all the strength and conditioning work here. And I work with various teams, you know. So that's really pivotal because the kids come to me before they actually have to go out and perform.
Yeah.
So
that's big.
Right. So, you know, it's just getting to know them, getting a relationship with them, because what happens too, and you might have experienced that, is that kids start trusting you. And the stuff that they would tell you, they wouldn't even discuss it with their parents.
That's a big fact.
Coach, I need to talk to you. I had a fight last night with my boyfriend. You tell your mom, no, she gonna kill me. Right, so the trust level, you know. Again, I'm a stickler for academics, right? One thing I pride myself on is that my kids graduate.
That's big.
When you graduate, whenever you graduate, man, I feel overjoyed. Why? Because I did my job. I'm enabling you to succeed onto the next level.
So if nobody does this, I'm gonna do it. I definitely want to give Coach his flowers and just give him all the respect that's due out there, because what people don't know is he impacts people till this day, you know what I mean? There's players in Grenada right now that Coach call, check up on them, make sure they're good. And not just pertaining to basketball, but also pertaining to just real life situations, like, you know, making sure that you're good, making sure that that they're okay in life and everyday walks of life. You know, they had kids that passed through this school right here who Coach had to take out money out of his own pocket to help out, you know what I mean? And these are the things that people don't understand and people don't know about Coach Brendon Bain. So I definitely just wanted to give you your flowers and commend you, you know what I mean? And also thank you for coming on Inside TV, because this is, you know, this is big for me. You know what I mean? Because this is an individual that has helped me and molded me into the person that I am today. And we still talk all the time till this day, you know what I mean? So it's huge for me. So
But that was the first time I met Kevin Cox, right? It was at your camp.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, on
Shout
the
out to
car
Kevin.
night.
Shout out to Kevin.
Yeah,
man.
Kevin,
Great
my
player,
man.
great guy.
My man, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put a lot of posters up in this gym. His spirit was in here, you know? Yeah.
That's for sure. And you know, it's very few people in this world, because I had a 40-inch vertical, right? I'll dunk on anybody. And there's very few people I can honestly say can probably jump higher than me, and Kevin is definitely one of them. I'm being completely honest. Like
Kevin is awesome.
Yeah. He's definitely one of those ones, for sure.
Yeah. This dude got a lot of posters in here, man. Oh, like crazy. But yeah, would love to do, you know, collaborate with you. You know, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the next generation. It's about the next set of kids.
For sure.
You know, it's just word to the wise, man. Listen, it's not about just basketball and putting a ball on the floor and shooting it. Yo, you gotta have a balance. My old headmaster used to tell me, and I will knight him myself, Sir Victor Ashby. All right?
Yes,
He used
sir.
to say, some of them have brawn, some of them have brain, and some of them left the whole package behind. Now, you cannot be one of those kids who has left the whole package behind, and you cannot just be brawn. You gotta have brains. All right, so why I'm saying that is because it works together. Student comes before athlete. Not athlete, student. You're a student athlete. So the books always comes first, right?
Big.
A lot of people didn't get opportunities, I'm telling you straight up, because they didn't value academics.
That's for sure.
And it's still happening. And most of the really talented kids think that, oh, I'm talented, so I'm gonna get wherever I dream of getting.
That stops.
Right? But you know, you could compound that.
That's for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So
definitely thank you for coming on, Coach. This is a
pleasure,
great pleasure. And you know, thank you guys for tuning in. Another Grenadian legend, and I'm saying this right now, legend right here, legend coach, legendary player. A lot of other players out there probably still upset about you destroying them on the court. So thanks again for coming on. This is Inside TV, baby. Peace out, y'all.
thank you.